Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back. It's your boy Olympic with another episode of the Rock the Block Show. And today, I got a very special guest in the house. I can't lie. This is like unexpected. But then again, it is to be expected. I could have expected it, but I never kind of expected it to happen, I guess, this soon. But I got my brother, a mentor, a friend in the building tonight. My guy, Popp Da Rippa. Give it up for Popp Da Rippa.
Yo, yo, yo. What's good, O? Thank you for having me, my brother.
You already know. It's an honor and a pleasure, man.
Yes, sir, man. One time for Rock the Block, baby.
You already know. We gonna vibe out in here today. Let me just make sure. I can hear you good, but I just want to make sure. Yeah, that's better right there. Even myself.
Yup. Check.
We on deck. All right. Cool. Yeah. So Pop, how you feeling today, man?
Man, I'm feeling great, bro. I'm blessed on this side, man. Just excited about life, excited about the new year.
Right.
All the things to come.
Righteous. You got a new project coming out too. You got new music hitting the street.
Actually, it just recently dropped, man. In January, man. It's called Rippa Reloaded. You know what I'm saying? It's basically my return back into the game full time.
Okay.
You feel me? Because I was out for a minute on the solo tip. I wasn't doing no more solo projects. My last album was in 2020.
Okay, you know that was about 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
How long before that were you doing music or into the music game?
Man, I started as a jit, man. I got my first record deal at 15 years old.
Okay.
In high school, and I never looked back, man. I was introduced to the game at a very young age. I was recruited by a producer, and he put me in a group.
You want to say his name, or could you?
Oh, yeah. Wendell Wilcox. His name is Wendell Wilcox.
That name sound familiar.
Yeah, Wendell Wilcox Music Production. I think it was called Wilcox Records at the time.
So what's that like as a 15-year-old in high school, I'm assuming, getting your first record deal? It has to set you apart from the other students around you, your peers. What's the set the vibe for us? What's that energy like?
Oh yeah, well, I was already known in the schoolhouse for being for rapping, and everybody always wanted to hear me spit.
What school you graduate from? Where you go at this time? Where you at?
At this time, I was at Carol City.
Okay.
I was at Carol City High School at that time. Carol City High School, but then I had to transition out of Carol City High School and ended up at American because I had some issues.
You sound like me. I started off at Turner Tech and ended up at the West because I had a couple issues.
I had to clear it from Carol City. It was a little hot at that.
Chiefs was
I had
too many Chiefs, not enough Indians.
So I actually ended up graduating from American. But right. I was always known around the hood and at the schoolhouse for somebody that could spit. And word got out, and my homeboy who also rapped, he met Wendell first, and he told Wendell about me. And then once I met him and he heard me, it was on the spot. He was ready to let's work.
Do you remember what that moment was? Did you have to like spit a freestyle? Was it a record that he heard that?
It was I had to just spit. Nah, I didn't have no record at that time. I just had to spit, and then he had a studio and everything, and he started working. He started, making beats and stuff for us, and then he ended up having like 4 young cats he was working with. He tried to make us a group, but the group thing wasn't really vibing because everybody was so different. So he ended up just doing like solo projects. You know what I'm saying? So that was my first really taste of the professional side of things, you know what I'm saying?
Right, the music business.
Yeah, and then he had a meeting with all our parents and everything with the paperwork and all that for them to sign off on it. And my people said, they'll do it as long as I'm staying out of trouble, whatever. But as soon as I, start cutting up in school or whatever, I can't do it. That was the agreement, whatever,
right? You
know what I'm saying? So, I obviously messed that up after a while, but that was my first start.
Right. Especially like back then, I could imagine like there's a lot of child stars coming from like the R&B soul market, but I don't think that it was real popular back in those days for like You know how you had the emergence of like the Chief Keef and Lil Durk. These guys were like young, super young, 16, 15, coming out, getting these record deals. You know what I mean?
Right. This was like in the Criss Cross days. Remember Criss Cross?
I remember Criss Cross.
Yeah. So around that time, you know, young rappers was kind of like
it was coming out.
Yeah, it was coming out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe
So everybody was trying to find like their little young protege. You know what I mean? To do. Yeah. So
that was that era, the boom of the young
MCs,
rap, right?
Yes,
young
exactly.
MCs, right? Okay, man, Pop. So I want to know more about you, like what type of student you were coming up. 1 and 2, could you paint the picture of what Miami looked like? I'm assuming this is about 92, 93, maybe something like that.
Yep.
Okay. What's the tone? What's the feel? What's Miami? What's the energy in your Miami, where you're from?
At that time?
Yeah.
Well,
first, what kind of student were you?
Oh, what kind of student?
And then you can,
I was definitely a troublemaker, hothead type of dude. You know, I had what they call a Napoleon complex. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody was taller than me, bigger than me, but the ironic part was I was always the oldest. That's how I kind of started with my name Popp, because it's P sense. And it's P-O-P-P. So when you see 2 P's, that's me. You know what I'm saying? So basically, like, you know, I was always not really starting stuff, but like ready, you know what I'm saying, on go mode. I was always on go mode, and I had got expelled and kicked out a few times for fighting and stuff like that. So I wasn't really a good student, man. I didn't take school as seriously as I should have, and I barely graduated because in order to graduate, I had to do night school and Saturday school.
Yeah, that's tough. Bro.
Yeah, just to graduate, man. Yeah, I had to go through regular school through the week, schooling. Then Saturday and at night, just to get my credit. So it was tough, man. But I was so more focused on the music, you know what I mean, the more than my education, which I don't recommend. You know what I'm saying? Education is important, but at that time I didn't have that understanding. But I was so more focused on being a rapper.
I understand that could like consume you or not brainwash you, but like kind of take over your mind. You know what I'm saying? You see yourself as one thing and you kind of disregard you on that path. You got tunnel vision and you kind of like disregarding other things that are important in your life. I can see how that could happen. So how was paint the picture for Miami in 91, 92, 1990s. What's the energy? From what I know, you know, we coming into our prime years of maybe the crack era, you know what I'm saying? And from what I do know, there's a lot of dope and cocaine specifically coming through the ports of Miami and entering other parts of the world. And you got a lot of major key players out there. But from you, because I was a lot younger, you know what I'm saying? What was your opinion, your thoughts on hip hop culture, or what I would call like our community culture back then?
Well, you right on it, man. At that time, some of the biggest conversations was crack and AIDS. That's right. I remember that, bro. That's all you was hearing about. Crack and AIDS. That's all you was hearing about.
I was watching a video of a nigga the other day, because you know on Facebook and Twitter now, that's where all the filth content is now.
Yeah, anything goes on.
Anything goes. So I came across this video, and it was this guy, and he was going between these 3 women, right? And he was entering all 3 of their holes. He was just back and forth. And I'm like, damn, bro, they must then come up in the AIDS epidemic, like the AIDS era. That shit kind of scared me a little bit. I was happy for dog, because I felt like he was having the time of his life, but it just didn't. You feel? Yeah, like damn, y'all just sharing all type of juices and stuff. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was a dangerous time back then, man. There was a lot of people dying off behind that. You know what I'm saying?
Serious.
And so you know, that was some of the main conversations. But when it came to music, you know, Miami at that time wasn't getting the respect that it gets now. You know what I mean? The South in general was not getting the respect that it gets now. We had to fight for that space, you know what I'm saying? Back then we was just known as booty music type stuff. This when Luke was popping, you know what I'm saying? Luke. Let me tell you something, man. At that time, Luke was actually the biggest independent record label boss in the game, in the industry at that time.
I hear a lot of people say that. I hear a lot of people reference him, Peter Thomas, you know what I'm saying? What's my man that did Jack the Rapper? But definitely Luke, man. At one point, Luke was filthy, stinking rich off of music.
Absolutely. I mean,
feel me?
He really kind of set the blueprint, to be honest with you. For
a lot of people reference Luke
for independence, man. You know,
Luke P. He like that.
I remember going to
P probably got it from Luke. Sorry, not to cut you off. Go ahead.
No problem. Yeah, P definitely followed Luke's, pattern, man, because I remember Luke, man, I was at one of his studios he used to have back in the day, man, and this man had all type of people auditioning, coming, trying to, get on, whatever like that, man, and he was the number. People was coming from other states. Like, you see how everybody try to run to New York? New York was coming here to get on with Luke.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Cats from out of town. So it's like Luke really had a good movement going, but it was around that type of music, like dance, booty shake type stuff, right? So at that time, I also was a dancer. You know what I'm saying? So I was into the dancing and the juking and all that stuff. I was in some groups. I had my own group called Flex Boys, and we was doing shows, dancing and stuff like that. And then I got into another group, which is still to this day one of the biggest groups in the country, dance groups, was just Live in Color.
Okay.
I got with Live in Color, and when I got into Live in Color, that was actually the end of my, the last part of my dancing career, because I was really getting heavy into the music and the rapping, and I basically had to make a decision which one I was going to pursue, you feel me? So I left the dancing alone and just went straight forward with just music, man. And the only thing is that my style was a little bit different than what they knew about Miami, because I was big on lyricism, you know what I'm saying? But at that time, it wasn't really about lyricism. It was about dancing and juking, and that's it, you know what I'm saying? So they didn't really think we had that type of skill down here.
Man, even in my era, when I was coming along in high school, coming out of high school, I had an opportunity where I was taken to a studio session, RIP, Lord rest his soul, to meet Vito No Shake, and I had an opportunity to play some records for him, and bro was like, I ain't gonna lie, bro, your record's hard, bro, you spitting, man, but maybe if it was New York or somewhere else, but down here, man, they not gonna embrace it, bro. He told me something, and still to this day, you know what I'm saying, still difficult for the lyrical rappers. You either gotta be XX Tentacion, super like out there, weird, aggressive, hardcore, aggressive,
right?
Like alternative rap, or the Dade County traditional classic sound that
juke
we
sound,
got, the juke sound, So not to get off topic though, because you mentioned Uncle Luke. How do you feel about Uncle Luke not being as involved in the music as big of a figure as he was in the business, to be able to help catapult more artists from our community into mainstream success?
Right.
It seems like he's been super hands off with the music and focused more on the sports
and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, let me tell you something, man. Being in the game as long as I have, not just as an artist, but as a CEO of my own label and dealing with artists, I kind of understand, to be honest with you, because you can get burnt out from this game, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, Luke, absolutely, he could have been the biggest in the game right now if he would have, kept going forward. But I think what happened is he wanted to put Miami on so bad, but Miami wasn't like
the work ethic.
The work ethic wasn't there.
Miami wasn't up to
the standard to take it there. You feel me?
Yeah, Miami. I noticed, and a lot with sorry to a lot of the older generation, because that's what I got to look up to. I'm not down in the older generation, but I see it's like a real bullshit kind of mentality that we kind of have when it comes to business acumen down here. It's more party turn up, what a bill, what it is, what it that, and it ain't enough of the business minded going on. You feel me? It's like a lot of burnt out niggas from the crack era, coke head, old bunk heads and shit. Like, not to say that, but I'm just being real from how, you feel me? And niggas never grasp we could do all the party shit. So I'm sure when Luke was turning up and had all the women cutting up and getting busting it open and doing, niggas was there for that. But when it was time to go to the studio and put in 28 hours and go on the road and do right, niggas probably was burnt out from doing other things. So I could only imagine that shit.
And if you get burnt a lot in business, man, it's just like having bad relationships, man, with with a chick or whatever like that. After a while, you just get fed up with all of them. You know what I mean? And you don't want to deal with artists no more. You don't want to deal with any of that no more. You find other things to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I get it. You know what I mean? But over the years, I've learned a lot, man, just observing the transition and from then to now in hip hop. And one thing I can say is that, Luke is definitely one of our historic figures in the music business, representing South Florida. But I think there were also, too, a lot of missteps that happened that actually we are being affected by right now with this generation, right?
Right. So
Luke was a big advocate for, the freedom of speech, and he went against Congress to, fight for the right.
Ain't it?
Yeah, to fight for the fight for the freedom of speech and all of that. And that's how, if a lot of people don't even know, that's how the parental advisory stickers came to be on the CDs.
Right.
And on the albums. Luke, that's because of Luke.
Right.
And now everybody using that all over the world, right? But the thing that I think that we missed out on, and it's just me as being older now looking back, is that we fought for the freedom of speech, but we didn't bring the proper guidance and balance with it.
Right.
So it's like it opened up the floodgates for us to just talk reckless. Because when you talking about Second Amendment, right, you talking about the right to say what you want to say when it comes to the government. That's what that was implemented for. You know what I'm saying? So that if the government do something we don't like, we have the right to voice our opinion about it, right? But we took that and turned it into a mission to get permission to say, call our women bees and hoes, to talk about killing each other, to, disrespect each other. And I think that we didn't bring that balance in that fight. So it just opened up the floodgates for this generation now to have no type of guidelines, no type of limits on nothing that they say. And it affects the community. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So looking back on it now, I think that we should have embraced the fight, but embrace the fight with the right guidance behind it. Because, bruh, if the only thing we could look at now and say, man, we fought for the right to call black women bees, that's not really a fight, bruh. Worth fighting. You know what I'm saying? We could have still got money without that.
Definitely could have got money. I was just saying that, right? We was just having this conversation briefly before you pulled up. But I was thinking in my head, I don't think I even vocalized it, but we was talking about the TDE artist Doche, I think that's her name, and she just racked up a couple Grammys or whatnot. Shout out to that sister, man. She from Florida, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta salute it. But I was thinking in my head that, what TDE has been able to do with those caliber artists, like they not overly left, but they not overly right either. But they the message they bring a great balance, a great healthy conscious balance to hip hop, and they've been able to capitalize and make so much money off of it. Why can't other record labels see
that it's profitable, man?
Man, this nigga Kendrick down there up 20 Grammys right now. You know what I'm saying? They say Drake only got 5. I ain't even know that. You know what I'm saying? But whatever the politics is behind that, we're not gonna get into that. But all I'm saying is, that just show you right there that there's people in those Grammy committees that actually probably know what they doing. You feel me?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They probably want a different message emitted out there, but so we gotta understand when it comes to the Grammys too, the Grammy committees is not us. It's not Ray Ray and Pookie in the Grammy committees. You know what I'm saying? These are people who actually are heavily involved in music as a whole. Right. You know what I mean? In all types of genres. Right. So they probably want material that's really like solid, you know what I'm saying, and something that's got substance in order to say, okay, this is worthy of a Grammy. Hey, we gotta submit that Ripper Reloaded to the board, to the Grammy board. We got a couple ends over there. We're gonna see what's up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, that would be dope. Projects like that, music like that. My boy off camera, Tybee 305, man, he always produce conscious content like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, no, definitely. Let's take a quick break real quick. You know what I mean? Shout out some of my sponsors. Shout out to Money Back Guaranteed Taxes, man. If you need your taxes done right now with fast returns, holla at them on IG, Money Back Guaranteed Income Tax. And shout out to my guy, always friend of the show, the EDC guy for any firearms licensing, training, special forces tactics training in the field. Holla at the EDC guy on IG. He's gonna get you right. We're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back with Popp Da Rippa. And we are back with my boy Popp Da Rippa on the Rock the Block show. And we were just having some engaging, interesting conversation about the golden era of Miami, or the golden era probably of Miami hip hop. You know what I mean? Where it started at with Uncle Luke and all those guys back then.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and that was a time where, you know, we was really like diversified as far as like the different types of people that was coming out. You know what I mean? We had MC Shy D, you know what I'm saying, coming out, and then we had Michael Sterling. You get what I'm saying? So it's like we definitely had talent, you know what I mean, down here, man. We had Poison Clan, we had Home Team, you know what I'm saying? It was everybody that came out was dope. That was
Gangsta
the
Shorties and all them boys,
man, like
then
everybody was dope. It's like if somebody did come out, you could expect it to be hot. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't just put anybody out there. You know what I'm saying? You had to really have something to come out. But like I was saying before, man, you know, I think the biggest misstep was just the balance that, you know, that we didn't bring a good balance when it came to fighting for the right of free speech, which is I want to make a correction. I said Amendment 2 is really the First Amendment. It was the First Amendment, and that was the whole premise behind Luke's argument with the Supreme Court, you know. But like I said, initially that amendment was designed so that we can speak about politics, and so that we can speak out against corrupt governments, you know. But you know, it seemed like we turned it into permission to disrespect each other, permission to disrespect our women, permission to, you know, just talk crazy. And you know, and that fight led to where we are now with this generation of artists who just always trying to one up the next guy and talk about, like, okay, if this dude talked about catching 10 bodies, I'm gonna talk about catching 30. You know what I'm saying? This dude talked about busting somebody's head, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk about, you know what I'm saying, running down on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like we trying to compete to how reckless we could get on the mic, but it's not really like
it's
pushing us forward, bro. It's not pushing us forward, and I think at this stage of the game, it's time to revert back and make those corrections, and that's why I came back in. You know what I mean? Because I push nothing but positive hip hop.
Right. But what you just said leads me to the next topic. How do you feel about the state of today's hip hop? But you already kind of voiced how you feel about it, but who are some of the guys that you do listen to in today's market? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like who can Popp Da Rippa endorse? I can endorse D1. If you know about D1, I can endorse D1. Now, when it comes to skill level, right? I think what happens is we talk about like the greatest rappers and stuff like that. The greatest rappers are the rappers that you hardly hear about, to be honest with you. Because if you wanted to have the dopest cipher ever right now, there's 3 people you could put in that cipher and it would be phenomenal. And it has nothing to do with like age. It's about skill, right? Right. So my boy Enes from Making the Band. I rock with Enes. I like Enes, bro. You put Enes in there. You put Simba in there. If you know about Simba, put Simba in there. Okay, and Redman. Simba from out Oakland. And Redman is old school. Redman is from back in the days. You know what I'm saying? He rocked with Method Man and stuff like that. Still gonna give you some Redman right solid now. 16, 24, he can 32. With anybody. He can go toe to toe with anybody, man. So, you know, I'm still big on lyrics, man. I'm still big on lyricism. We live in a generation where it's popular to be disrespectful. Like you said, it's more popular to be like, man, fuck Red, man, that old ass nigga, man, that shit trash. But it's like really like when you see like the Leangelo, was it Jello? No, it's Jello Ball. The Ball brother dropped that record with the old school tempo flow, with the old New Orleans Cash Money style bop to it. When you hear these remakes of older hip hop records that were already hits come back out, it just proves that if it's a groove, it's a groove. Stop trying to put a face on it just because the package don't look like this, or the whole package ain't presented like this. Like you said, if it's about lyricism and skills, let it be about lyricism and skills,
that's all
bro.
it should be about.
That should all it be. That's the only thing that it should be about, bro. You feel me? Like, it's tons of old school rappers and songs that you could put on right now. If you put on that Luda Make Love to Me, oh, like that shit ain't gonna bop today. Like, are we just because it was recorded 20 years ago, or the rollout was 20 years ago, we gonna discredit the fact that if we put on some of these same old records from EPMD to Rakim to whoever it was, bro, if it was a bop, it was a bop. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like, you gotta find the bop. Like, right. Sometimes you don't, the bop will find you, and if it don't find you, then you probably lost.
Right, man. Because the thing I always say is that there is no age limit, there's no rules to dopeness. Either you dope or you not. You feel me? And hip hop, unfortunately, in our hip hop culture, we've created what I call unwritten rules that other genres just don't have. Like first of all, they say you got to be a certain age. They say that you got to say, like, if you don't say the word nigga in the song, it ain't going to be a good song. They say, like, oh, if you not singing, it ain't gonna bang. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's so much things in there that, like, oh, you got to disrespect women. You can't say treat women right. You got to say disrespect them in order for it to be a hit. And I think that that has like set the next generation up to fail, because now here you got, let's say for example, you got a jit, say it's your little nephew or something like that. He a straight A student, 2-parent home, good kid, you know what I'm saying? But he can rap and he want to be a rapper. The first thing he gonna do is look at who's popping, and he gonna say, okay, well, what I gotta do to be where they at? And if he turn them on and he hearing drill, he hearing, chopper, you know what I'm saying? He hearing disrespecting women and all of this other stuff, then what you think his mind gonna tell him? Well, dang, if I want to get on, that's what I gotta do.
This is what I gotta do. Right?
And that might not even be who he is. You feel me? So it's like, because we don't have that balance no more, we set the next generation up to only be one way when it comes to making music.
Right, and then like it's only like simple math, bro. Like, if you program yourself to listening or watching a certain type of content or listen to a certain type of music all day, back to back, 24/7, you're only going to embody and take on a lot of those same ideologies, a lot of those same thought patterns, you know what I'm saying? So it's simple math, it's called auto-suggestive reprogramming. If I sit here and I listen to a nigga talk about drill all day, 9 times out of 10, when a scenario arise in my life where I can make the decision to go left or go right, I probably gonna go left, because I'm trying to act out these fantasies of drill, man. I'm on drill time. Yeah, this shit. Long. You feel me? So,
exactly.
Oh, no, we good.
But you almost lost it, huh?
That shit was asleep. My bad. Bro, I thought we went dead. I'm like, hold up, man.
But real talk, that's all by design, though, man, right?
Oh, yeah, we know that.
That's all by design, man. This is exactly where the powers that be wanted us to be, man, because we actually fund their lifestyle. We fund the private prison system, which is a big cash cow.
Understood.
And so hip hop has become basically like the marketing arm for the private prisons. You know what I'm saying?
You seen this shit the other day? They saying they about to, was it Ecuador or El Salvador? One of those countries done proposed a contract with the United States where they said they'll house prisoners for them down there in they prisons for a X amount of fee. You get what I'm saying? But this shit's so big now, bro. They gonna start shipping niggas ass out the country, bro.
Listen, man, I ain't surprised. That's big business, bro. That's big business, man.
That's crazy.
I think when I saw the numbers last time, I think each inmate is worth like 50 grand. You know what I'm saying? So what you think? Like, if that was your business and your business was to fill beds, to fill sales,
you doing whatever it takes.
You doing whatever it takes to get them in there. So guess what? If you if the big CEOs that's owning these major record labels are friends with the private prison owners or the people that's invested in it, they got a plan, bro. They got a plan, man.
I heard one of those artists, who it was it like Corrupt or not Corrupt? One of them West Coast, either was DJ Quick or one of them boys out there said back in the day it was this large meeting held between all the prison owners and shit like that. And
that was Buddy together. From Bone Thugs.
Bone Thugs, and one of them boys said it. You feel me? And that's real. That's believable, bro. I believe every bit of it. Like
I heard about that meeting too, and I absolutely believe it, man. Because they say that we easy to They think we easy to manipulate because we love entertainment. You know
right. So look, that lead me to another topic that's real hot and popular right now. I can't go nowhere without hearing about it. My parents are talking about it every day. You get what I'm trying to say. People in the streets, the internet, Trump, and a lot of his policies that he's implementing, specifically around the equal opportunity employment and diversity, DEI, around Roland Martin just went viral this morning. I don't know if you saw in a viral rant where he's basically saying like this whole presidency term is meant to destroy black economics, right? And I said, shit, if you ask me, they've been doing this shit since
black economics been destroyed, right?
Been destroyed. What is black economics, bro? For real, like for the few of us that do not say the few of us, yes, there are a lot of black entrepreneurs out in the world. We're not gonna negate that, but as far as like our dollar circulating in the black community versus the Jewish, the Chinese dollar, and even the Hispanic dollar, you got Hialeah. They ain't got to leave Hialeah for nothing. Everything in Hialeah, whatever business it is owned by a Cuban or Chico in Hialeah, damn near. You know what I'm saying?
Their money don't leave.
Their money don't really leave. You feel me? Our shit going to Aventura. Our shit going to Kentucky Fried Chicken. Our shit going wherever it's going. But it ain't staying with us. You feel me? Right. So that's my biggest like plight with that shit. Like everybody in a panic right now. Like, my mom said, son, I love my mother to death. Of course, you know what I'm saying? Go get her book on Amazon right now. You Can't Trump This by Linda Scipio. But she mentioned she mentioned the FBI. Basically, Trump was doing something to dismantle the current FBI, and I'm like, shit, man, what we concerned about that? The FBI done took down tried to take down every major black organization, power group. You feel me? Now, some within right reasons. If niggas was out here gang banging and doing, but the niggas that was actually trying to do some solid shit out here, you know what I'm saying? And you got COINTELPRO and all, like, shit, man, let them put some heat on their ass for once, man, because they've been doing it. So, what are your thoughts and opinions on like let's just start with the DEI?
Well, I mean, the thing about it is, that all stems from affirmative action back in the days. You know what I'm saying? That's where it all started, where, they
explain affirmative action for the people that may not be.
Okay, so basically, there was a time, believe it or not, where it was very hard for black people to get jobs, right?
Okay.
We was not getting hired. We can apply all day long, but if there was any white folks that was also applying, they would get the job. So affirmative action, was implemented. I think that was the Reagan era, where affirmative action started, and basically companies were required to hire, they would call minorities, right? But really, when it came to it, it was black people, because we was the ones not getting the jobs, right?
Right.
Now, because they used the term minority, which is a very loose term.
Right.
That also broad. Now it's so broad that it's like other people got to latch on to it, other groups, Hispanic groups got to latch on to it.
I think you going what? Go ahead. Continue.
Hispanic groups got to go into it. All the foreigners, got to latch on to it. So now it's like the black people started to get pushed more to the shadows.
Damn, you understand.
With affirmative action and all of that.
You understand.
Yeah. So it's like, unfortunately, businesses had to be forced to hire us. And that's where affirmative action came in. So now, fast forward 2025, they talking about DEI. You got even more groups now that they ain't got nothing to do with race. Because now they talking about gender. And now they talking about this, got disabilities. And now you're talking about sexual preferences, orientations. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like all of that now is in all lumped together with us. So now it's like, Trump is trying to say, forget all that. Hire who you want to hire.
Hire who you want to hire. That's what they're going to do anyways. Because right now, right, there are still restaurants and clubs in the United States that can refuse your service.
Right.
They don't have to let you in. Like right now, just on some vanity shit down here in Miami, is certain clubs that you can't even go to as a woman or a man looking a certain type of way. I don't care if you don't meet their criteria.
Right. They don't have to let you in.
They don't have to. There's other instances that I've seen on YouTube where, and I'm the type of brother, I think like this. But like I said, I've seen other videos. I'm gonna tell you how I think. But I see other videos on YouTube of black people trying to get into white establishments, and they just straight up find a reason to refute. Oh, yo, collar shirt. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got the hat on, no hats or whatever it is, no tattoos. Right. They'll tell you as anything not to get you in there. Mm-hmm. But I'm the type of brother that think like this. If it starts happening if this starts happening at a more alarming rate, I just feel like fuck them. We need to come together anyway. Now I'm just going to supporting the black-owned clubs. I'm only going to start supporting, and hopefully more will grow from that. More black-owned restaurants, more black-owned clothing store, more the black designers. We need to be supporting the black designers. You need to be downloading Popp Da Rippa's album and letting your kids listen to this. You get what I'm trying to say? Because it's healthy, clean, spirit-feeding music. You feel me?
Right.
So things of that nature. We need to start supporting us. I feel like integration probably hurt our community more than it ever helped it, because we forgot about everything that was us and started buying from everything them.
Because,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because see, they gave.
And now we in a situation where we crying like daddy might take everything away from us. Why the fuck was we ever putting on this nigga anyways?
Right.
You feel me? So
yeah, segregation. I think that in the black community we was kind of split on that topic of segregation, because you had a group of black people that wanted to be a part of everything that everybody else was doing, right? Then you had another group that wanted to keep everything in our community. You know what I'm saying? So segregation was actually, we was split on that issue, to be honest with you. But the problem is that back then in the 60s, everything that you needed was not necessarily available in the black community, especially if you wanted a nice car, you wanted nice clothes, you wanted the latest dish, you wanted the latest that, you wanted to eat in the best restaurants and stuff like that. Like black people wanted to participate in that. So segregation was like, integration would have been like, yeah, let's get involved with that. But segregation say, nah, y'all do y'all thing and we do ours. If we would have kept segregation, I hate to say it, but I think we would have been better off.
I do too,
right
brother.
Now, as far as our economic power. Our economic power would have been so strong because we were forced to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you give the option, it's like, nah, I'd rather
be. They finna take food stamps. I get it.
But your question is, so what's your thoughts on gentrification?
On gentrification?
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, to me, gentrification is just another way to create segregation. You know what I'm saying? Because we in a place that they want, another group wants this, but we currently are inhabiting it. So because of all the laws that's out now, you can't just come out and say black people leave. So you got to be strategic with a way to get them out, right? And it's really two ways. You get them out through putting them in jail, arresting them, getting them off the streets, or you make things so expensive that they can't even afford to live here. And that's what gentrification do. Gentrification doesn't say black people can't be here, but what it does is it creates an environment that they can't afford to be there. You know what I'm saying? So they knock down the projects where you're only paying $30 a month, right? They knock that down, turn it
and
into...
they done condition you to paying $30 a month. So now, even if you're somewhere in the back of your mind, you were capable of going out and making $20,000 a month, you just trying to satisfy these 30. I'm good.
Exactly.
You feel me?
So how do you renovate the properties and stuff like that.
You do it. You just the community come together. We like. I mean, it's deeper. Like I want to let Brother Pop answer that shit. You just do it, dog.
Like how you renovate and get new materials, new furnished homes. And
same way we get new fucking Infinity coupes and donks and Chevy donks in the hood. Where you putting your money at? We so sold on the glitz and the glam shit that bruh, you know how many meetings I done been to with professional white folk that I'm talking about multi-millionaires, bro. These niggas got on dirty sneakers. I done started looking at these motherfuckers. I'm like, man, I don't give a. I'm wearing dirty sneakers, bro, because I'm on a path, bro. I'm on a mission, bro. And that's the thing. And I get it, man. Your presentation, your image is a lot. Because I was about to say that in reference to what you said earlier about segregation. What I've noticed is in my lifetime, and especially in this generation that we live in now, if you doing you so hard and you doing you at the best of your abilities, it's gonna be others that want to fuck with you off rip. So if we would have kept doing us in the black community, just like they want, like our food, they like our music now, they like our movies, they like everything. If we would have kept doing us,
we'd have been real strong
we would have been real strong, and they would have had to come fuck with us.
But see, the thing is, segregation don't necessarily mean you hate another group. You just want to make sure your people okay. You just want to make sure y'all strong. You know what I mean? Just like every other group does this, so it ain't a bad thing. Listen, the Latin community, strong as ever. Everything in their community is focused on them. It's made for them. It's by them, for them. You go into other places where they have like Asian communities, by them, for them. Jewish communities, by them, for them. Mexican communities, by them, for them. We the only ones who they try to make us feel bad when we say we want to do something for black people.
So let me ask you this. This is a question. I asked my mama this last night. I said, so if the governing bodies came together right now and they said, we're dedicating 250,000 acres of land, said location, and right now every black person in America can go to this land. We're gonna give you a stipend to relocate. Y'all govern yourself. Y'all figure out your own government. Y'all figure out your own politics. Y'all own. And y'all go live over there. Would you do it?
Yeah, I would. I'd do it. Now I would. Let me tell you, I would do it, but let me tell you what I would expect. I would expect chaos, at least for the first 2 to 3 years.
At least for the first 10 years.
You think 10?
10 to 15, bro.
I think we could get it right in
African governments right now. Them niggas in Africa. And just think about Africa, Haiti. How many years they been going through political. Niggas can't. I don't know. Niggas just be hard to get it together. I don't know. The Arabs, they seem to figure that shit out.
But there's the thing, though. In that scenario,
I want to give us more credit than that. But
in that scenario, we never got that opportunity before.
We never got.
So I feel like if that opportunity actually came, we would lean towards our leaders with good track records to help guide us to do it right. Like, say for example, we say, okay, they gave us that, right? Mm-hmm. Our brother. So I'm just saying an example. Everybody feel differently about him, but let's say brother Umar Johnson, right?
Okay.
Is one of the executive board members or something like this to help govern it, but not by himself, because that's the thing. When you put one person in charge, that's when you got problems. But when you put a governing body of like-minded people, that's strong-minded people, they can guide us in the right direction, bro, and we can make it happen. But you know, I don't know if we'll ever get to that point, but.
We having a conversation now, so you just never know. But I just want to throw that out there.
Hey, listen, I would be down for it, man. I just got to make sure that it's actually a good structure. If it's a good structure, I would take my family into that environment.
Good, rich, fertile land somewhere.
Why not?
Nah, okay. My next question, what's your thoughts and your feeling on all of these ISIS raids, immigration talk, everything that's going on, and how does it affect your city in particular, your state and city in particular?
Boy, that's a good one, man. I was talking to somebody about this the other day, man, and he said something. My dog said something so deep, bro, that I ain't never thought about, bro.
What's that?
And when it came to this immigration, he say in Miami, right? Black people, we always complaining, oh, the Chicos getting all the jobs, the Chicos taking everything, they doing everything, right? So then, Buddy had said, okay, so if they come and get all the Chicos up out of here and send them back, who gonna do the type of jobs they do?
Bro, I just asked the motherfucker that same question.
Who gonna go out there and pick oranges? Who gonna go out there and do all that in the hot sun? You know, for the amount of money that they get too, because they don't get paid a lot of money. Who gonna do it?
Exactly. So I was just telling somebody that the other day, like, we looking for the least path of resistance in the black community. That's what I done seen the majority of my life. Nigga looking for the shortest way to the quickest way to the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now, as a general culture, like, I feel like it's culture in this generation where you got the OnlyFans and there's a lot of just, I'm gonna put this on the internet and make a quick dollar. I'm gonna sell some weed. I'm gonna do whatever it is. We getting a little bit more legal. It's more of a business now, so I ain't gonna throw them boys in there. But like, what I'm saying is, like, we don't want no niggas down there don't want to work anyway. You pull up at the drive-through, motherfucker got attitude off rip.
They do not want to work, man.
Nigga don't want to work anyway. So why is you complaining about these people that's getting these jobs and doing these jobs?
Right.
And you don't even want to work. Like I told my homegirl yesterday, she got a business. I'm like, you need to get you a virtual assistant. Go on like Fiverr.com, find you one of them boys out in Pakistan, India somewhere. You might be paying them half of what you paying. Oh yeah, man, because I was gonna hire my friend and pay her like $20 an hour, some shit, whatever she was saying. I'm like, man, you could just pay. But then I'm taking food out of America, and I'm like, motherfucker in America down there don't even want to work anyway.
Don't want to work, and I think that we're gonna really see the truth behind that too, because as they start, shipping people out of here, man, now these vacancies are gonna be there, and if they don't get people to work in these fields, they don't get people to work in these what we would consider menial jobs, it's going to affect the economy. Right. It's going to affect our food getting here to the stores on time.
Preach.
It's going to affect all types of stuff that we don't think about, because the Hispanic community, they are humble enough to take these jobs, and we're not, because like you just said, because of the internet, because of how the culture is now, everybody trying to get to the big bag tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, so everybody want to rap. Everybody trying to just do content. We was just talking about the niggas that do the little dumbass content on the internet. They just doing anything. And niggas laughing at it. So they gonna keep doing it. But there's no substance, no nothing behind it. So you got a bunch of these repeat offenders, as I want to call them, that just come behind that doing the dumb content, jump on somebody's car, boom, flop on the floor, run inside a Wendy's and stand on the car counter and pour milkshake on them, and
clout chasing.
It's just like, damn, bro, whatever we got, like, I couldn't do it. I could never do it.
Nah,
you feel me? I don't care how long it take for the podcast or what we doing that's substantive to pop. I can't do that.
That means you have integrity, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's what's missing in the game. That's why my movement is called ICE Squad.
ICE Squad.
And the ICE stands for integrity, character.
You working with immigration, nigga? We find out your Hispanic friends need to watch out.
Listen, boy. Somebody told me. Somebody said they had on an ICE Squad shirt.
You about to lose a lot of Hispanic. No, I'm just funny.
And they say we not. But that's real though, because some people see ICE Squad and they think we're part of that.
La migra.
Nah. But yeah, somebody say that, man, they went somewhere, man, a bunch of Spanish people was getting nervous, boy, when they walked in, because they had an ICE Squad shirt.
Oh shit. Nah, you see right now, you setting off alarms right now with that. But
man, but it's all about the positive movements, because we know that's what's missing in the game right now. Integrity, character, and excellence, bro. And like what you just described is integrity, bro. You not willing to just do anything for the bag, bro, because you still are conscious of who you are as an individual, man, and you're not just gonna humiliate yourself for $1, so that's good, bro.
Right.
And you need to pass that on, man, to others, man, so we can have more respect for ourselves as a community, bro, and as a culture.
Right. We've been rocking out for a little minute on this cast. I got one more question for you before we get into that freestyle segment. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And I just want to know your opinion on it. So there's a white rapper out of Dallas, Texas that recently went viral, and I checked in with some of my sources out in Dallas. They say they never heard of this guy. They know some of the people that he be around.
Redhead dude, I seen him. Redhead
said that, man, he could say, he gonna say nigga, and that any person, black person that or anybody that say, you gonna have to knuckle up behind it.
Right. I seen that.
What's your thoughts, man?
My thoughts is that's our fault. That's
damn
off rip. That's us. That's on us, man. That's on us, bro. We co-sign that, bro, because he's not
integration right there.
He's not right. That's integration. He's not. Listen. First of all, he not the first, right? Because in our communities, forget rapping. In our communities, we got people that's doing that all the time, right in our face, and we don't check them on it, right? Just because you move into my neighborhood, don't mean you got the right to disrespect us like that. You feel me? And he done got so many thumbs ups and cosigns and daps talking like that now he feel comfortable doing that in front of the whole world.
Man, I feel like it's a slap in the face because like this nigga got labels coming after him because of the connotation of the idea behind what he's putting out into the world. You get what I'm saying? That's that, you know what I'm saying? Like the allure of this cracker even playing with the race issue like that. So I feel, you know, I don't know, bro. Right. So what I was saying was we come up in communities where it's acceptable down here in South Florida for our Hispanic brothers and sisters. They use the word nigga, you know what I mean? In conversation with their black peers and friends in the community. You know, how do you feel about that?
I'm gonna say it like this, man. I grew up, majority of my life, I've been saying nigga every day, all day, right? But I'm at a point in my life right now where I'm trying to correct the wrongs that myself included and my generation made, because there's a lot of things that the generation before me poured into us that they never corrected, bro. And now we done passed it on to our children. Right. I'm about breaking generational curses. You feel me? And breaking negative patterns. So I'm trying to remove the word completely from my vocabulary, because the thing about it is that if we constantly endorse that type of word, right, other people are going to pick it up, because our culture is the most influential culture in the world. You get what I'm saying? Whatever we do, whatever we say, whatever we wear, everybody else want to do it.
Preach.
You get what I'm saying? So whether it's good or bad, they're going to imitate it. So we can't. This was bound to happen. Now, I give much respect to all the white rappers that came out in the past that knew the boundaries. They knew the boundaries, and they were still able to be successful. Eminem is still to this day one of the greatest rappers to ever do it, and he did not have to say the N-word not one time. And black people was endorsing him.
Preach.
So for somebody to feel like they have to do that in order to get on, it just shows that they have limited skills. You know what I'm saying? Because they willing to be disrespectful to a whole nation, a whole world of black people just to get some views. You know what I'm saying? But I'm more upset every time I watch that video of Buddy. I be more upset with the people in the room than him. Cause he in a room full of black people.
What?
I'm more upset with them because they laughing, they dapping him up, they drinking, they smoking, they having a good time like it's cool.
I ain't gonna lie, you know, if I did choose to stand there and participate, how I'm feeling off rip, I'm telling fool, hey, you can say whatever you want, but when we go outside, bro, you gotta run me for every nigga that you said, nigga, we gonna have to, man, what?
Yeah, nobody checking him.
Top.
Nobody.
So you can say what you want, but nigga, after this, we finna go outside and do that. You feel me? Straight up, but that's just
that ain't happening though. Like the people that's, I guess, from wherever he from, they giving him a cosign, bro, which to me shows their lack of respect for their own culture.
No integrity. Them boys just trying to ride that train onto the record label or whatever deal he gonna run into for being the first cracker that felt like he could, you know, whatever was to say it and do it. You know what I'm saying? Man, but that's what them boys on. They co-signing.
But we gotta break the cycle when it comes to that, man. Because to be honest with you, man, I don't want my great grandchildren feeling like nigga is a regular word in the vocabulary.
I respect that,
because if we was to go back to our great grandparents and they heard how we use the word, they'll slap the taste out our mouth, because that was a word that was being said to them while they was being beat, while they was being murdered, while they was being raped. That's the word that was used to speak down on them.
Right.
And basically tell them that they're dogs. Do you know what the word nigga means? The word nigga means a dead man. That means you, every time you say you call somebody a nigga, you telling them they a dead person, man. You feel me? Because that's what they saw us as. That, listen, man, you ain't finna live long. These slave masters, they gonna get what they want out of us, and then we gonna be dead. So that was a word to describe a person that is about to die in a minute. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be dead, bro, cause you don't matter to me. So we all learn and we grow as we go, right? So I'm at the point now where I haven't got there yet, you know what I'm saying? But I'm striving to remove that word from my vocabulary. I've gotten at least to the point where I don't say that around my children. So I've never heard my children use that word. So, you know, I commend myself for that, because it's still a struggle, especially if somebody piss you off, right? But it's certain things I feel like needs to come out of our culture, and the only way it's gonna come out is if we actively, intentionally remove it. So that's why when you hear a Popp Da Rippa record, you will never hear the N-word, right? And it's still dope. You feel me? But I'm doing that intentionally to set the example for the next generation.
Nah, we respect that. We respect that. Nah, definitely. And as I look at myself and listen to myself back on these interviews, and I hear myself use the word, and I hear myself use other profane language, I know that I need to draw back as well, because my vocabulary is far more vast than just using those, you know what I'm saying, the M word to describe myself or another, you know, individual, or, you know, connecting storylines or whatever, however we use it. But
it's a process, man. It's a process, bro. But that's the power of having these platforms, is we get to actually set the pace, right, and change the culture, because we have the ears and the eyes of the people. You feel me? So, you know, I'm a member of the Circle of Brotherhood. Right. We call each other brother. Right. You know what I mean? And we intentionally keep saying that over and over and over so that it gets programmed and it becomes a natural part of our conversation. Right. One brother, one hood. Damn. That's how we do it, baby. Yes,
straight up. Well, Pop, man, we've been rocking out for a little minute right now. I want to get into that freestyle. You feel me? But before we do that, man, let them know the name of the project again. Let them know where they can find it. Let them know where they can find you, and let them know what other great things that you have coming in the future that the world need to be privy of.
Okay, for sure. So the new album is called Rippa Reloaded. That means I'm back, baby. I'm reloaded, ready to go, ready to fire off. And it's going to be that same heat that you used to from Popp Da Rippa. I'm still repping Ice Squad, you know what I'm saying? My group, my crew, you know what I mean? It's just that right now the focus is, you know, my solo project, but we still all family, you know what I mean? We're still the same camp. But it's pure hip hop, man, positive messages, man, some powerful content that deals with current issues that we dealing with in our community, but it's still something you could vibe to, you could ride to, you could juke to, you could go to the club and bounce to, all that, man. So, you know, Rippa Reloaded can be found on all your music platforms, wherever you get your music, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all of that, man, you name it. Just put in Rippa, RIPPA, Reloaded, Popp Da Rippa with 2 P's, and we vibing.
We vibing just like that, man. Y'all was tuned in. Stay tuned in. Be on the lookout for that Freestyle Friday coming with Popp Da Rippa and many more that's coming. And Pop, man, it was a pleasure, bro. You've been up here. We gotta have you back up here at least like every 2 months or something, man. I love this conversation. We need to be putting more conversations like this into the world. And I haven't sat down with many people yet that the conversation just flow, or that type of conversation just flow with. So we love to have you back on as like a reoccurring guest. You feel me?
Yeah, man, you know, absolutely, man. It's all love, man. We fam, bro. Listen, I'm all about anybody that want to push positivity, man. I'm locked in with you, baby.
Righteous.
All day.
Righteous. There you have it, man. Signing out for now.
Yeah.